Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. It has been a while. How are y'all? Did you miss my face? Did you miss my voice? I've been busy. I'm much closer to getting the book out. The final draft is done. I'm working with somebody now that we're doing the cover design. We're doing marketing. We're working on getting it printed and ebook and just putting it out there. So I don't know if it'll be done before the season is over, but definitely within a few months. So by Halloween at the latest, it should be out there. So please, I would appreciate your support in going buy it. I will make an official announcement when it comes out. And in the meantime, let's talk about the league. There's a lot of exciting things happened. The Asa Wilson injury, sad about that, but that's one of the best things about having someone like Cambage there, that you can lose the face of the franchise, and you've still got Liz Cambage to rely on. But no doubt they're weaker without Wilson, but they're still a strong team. Also, the Sky, they're holding steady. You got a lot of teams that have been up and down. Oh, did you see that Mystics game? Mystics and Phoenix. Oh, in case you missed it, there's five different players scoring 30 points in one game. Never happened before. Definitely hasn't happened in the WNBA. Hasn't ever happened in the NBA either. That's just it's just amazing. I've seen a lot of games when one person doesn't even score 30. So for 5. It's impressive. Did you catch the All-Star game? I had to work, so I didn't get to see how it ended, but I caught the first quarter. Definitely, I looked at the highlights from the skills competition. Not quite what I expected. It was fun. Congratulations to Erica Wheeler for everything she's accomplished. What an amazing story for her. And I just want to take some time. I'm going to do what I did last time I made a video. Just go over the standings and just team by team tell you what I think of how everyone's season is going so far. And I don't even have to the page is loading. I don't have to let it finish to know that Atlanta and Dallas are at the bottom. And they're not making the playoffs. And yep, Atlanta 5-17, Dallas 6-16, Fever 8-15. They've all separated themselves. I would say Atlanta is definitely, for me, one of the biggest shocks of the season. I mean, at this point, I could have easily pictured them at 17-5, but I mean, they've got one road win all year, 1-9. Dallas is the only team that's worse at 0-10. But they are even at home, so that's something. In either way, though, it's been a rough season for both of those teams. I think more so for Atlanta because this was a team that was this close to the finals. And I think if they were 100% healthy, they might have been the favorites to win it all, at least before the Cambage trade. But, shit happens, I guess. I mean, we all know Angel McCoughtry is one of the best in the league, no doubt about that. And her absence will have an effect, but this is a team that has a lot of strong players in a lot of positions. They've got depth. They've got scorers. They've got defenders. I feel like they should at least be 500. Dallas, losing Cambage and Diggins, you knew that would be a big blow. I figured they didn't have enough left to stay afloat, so they're about where I expected. Indiana, they're actually playing better than I thought they would. No Victoria Vivens, Kelsey Mitchell, she's been up and down so far her sophomore year. And when the face of your franchise is struggling, you expect the team as a whole to struggle. But Tiara McCown is really coming into her own. I don't know if other people are putting her in the conversation of Rookie of the Year, but I think she needs to be in the voting. Definitely, she's become a really solid player for them. She's putting up consistent numbers, and Erica Wheeler and her development. I've been paying attention to her for the past couple of years. She's a great player. I wouldn't have. even to now, I wouldn't know if I could peg her as a Hall of Famer, but she's definitely a high impact player in this league. And now that her name is becoming a household name, you can definitely expect a couple more All-Star games out of her. People are learning who she is. And then you've got at number 9 the New York Liberty, who they're only 1.5 games behind the Lynx. That being said, with the Lynx, even with all the changes that happened, they're pretty much doing what I said they would. They're 10-11. They've floated around 500 all year. I don't know if I can expect them to fall out. Got a better home record than they do on the road, which you'd expect most teams to have. And then with New York, like I said, I really couldn't tell you what's wrong with them. I know there's been so much inconsistency on the roster. The one thing that I think shocks me the most, Tina Charles. I figured, if nothing else, we can count on her to give us 2010 every single game. And she hasn't done that. She's had up and down season as well, which I can't really fault her. Everyone has bad games. Everyone has bad years. But honestly, I don't, unless she becomes that consistent 2010 girl, then, and I don't mean year 2010, but technically that too. But basically, yeah, unless she becomes that consistent, give us what we need every game, I don't think the Liberty really have that strong a chance. They've got a lot of key pieces, but like, everyone needs to be at the top of their game if they really want to make that late push. I don't know if I can believe in them, mostly because all the teams above them, they're doing what they're supposed to. They're doing what they need to. And so I don't know if, because the Liberty, not only do they have to keep winning, but the people above them have to keep losing. And like I said, Minnesota, you can count on them to do what they need to. The Mercury, I think their biggest struggle has just been, they ain't got no players. They've had a few players who have been there every single game, but a lot of their big names, like Diana Taurasi, just missing a lot of time. Sancho Little been out. The Essence Carson, there have been a lot of key players out of the lineup for big chunks of time. So Phoenix Mercury at 100% health could easily be a top 4 team, but will they get healthy enough with enough time left in the season to actually make that surge? And then there's the Seattle Storm at 12-10. Jordan Canada has improved greatly. Not only from last season to this season, but over the course of the season. Remember what I said earlier in the year, that she needs to work on those turnovers? Her turnovers have been down lately. And so the development of Canada, you've got the consistent presence of players like Alicia Clark. You've got Natasha Howard stepping up and being the leader, the catalyst, helping them run. You've got a great coach in Dan Hughes who's got them playing well defensively. Like Seattle, Minnesota, they're kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't think there's any legitimate shot of them even winning one playoff game, but they're going to keep winning enough games to be in the playoff. And then you got Chicago Sky at 5. They're 12-9. And it's virtually a tie. They're half a game behind Los Angeles. So yeah, I don't know. I think I expected Chicago to be in the playoff fight. I would have never guessed them fighting for a top 4 seed. We know the talent has always been there. James Wade has done a good job of putting these players in a good position, to do what they need to do, not to mention the chemistry. A lot of these players have been together for a couple of years now. They're getting used to each other, and they're really, and of course, like, it helps that Courtney Vandersloot, she usually always shows up late, but she's been there all season. Quigley has really developed into an amazing all-star. Diamond DeShields, I think she's going to be the face of that franchise pretty soon. If she, I think some people might consider her that already. I say it's Sluty, but that's just me. Either way, they're an incredibly talented bunch. And I think they can actually get better than they are right now. But they're, like, I don't know if I can expect a long and, like, deep playoff run, but yeah, they're definitely going to be in the playoffs. They're definitely going to win 1 or 2 playoff games. And then you've got the Sparks, who with the experience they have alone, they've still got a lot of players from their championship team. You know, they've got a head coach who won 5 championships as a player, so he knows what it takes to get it done. You know, will that translate when he's in a front office position? Who knows? But he has the respect of his players, I believe. And, you know, like I said, there's a lot of experience, there's a lot of talent, and their biggest issue seems to have mostly been injuries. And yet they fought their way into 4th place despite constantly being hurt and never having their full complement of players, signing players just so that they can say they have a full team. But yeah, they're playing. I mean, they've been up and down all season, but they're playing well right now. In fact, wow, didn't even look at that. Looking at the loss column, Atlanta's lost 7 in a row. The Lynx have lost 4 in a row, which is, yeah, but they got time to turn it around. But yeah, right now, the Indiana Fever are the only team outside of the top 5 that have a winning streak, and they've got 2 in a row. But anyways, yeah. And now in the top 3, Vegas 15-7. They're 9-2 at home, 6-5 on the road. It's impressive. They've won 8 of their last 10, so they're playing much better now than they were at the beginning of the season. Once again, the Wilson injury hurts them, but they're still one of the top teams. And then you've got Washington and Connecticut. And actually, wait, let's go back to Vegas really quick. Wnba, she's in the starting lineup now, and I don't know what the rule is about how many games you can start before you're no longer considered a 6th man, but like I think she's very deserving of the 6th Woman of the Year award. So, you know, I hope she gets some recognition because she's definitely developed into a consistent presence for them on both ends. Kelsey Plum, her defense has greatly improved. She said she wanted to work on that. She definitely has. You know, her scoring, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes shots fall, sometimes they don't. Like, we all know Kelsey Plum can score. She's not focused on that right now. She's more like, hey, she's been more working on her defense and making sure she's not a detriment to her team on that side, which I think that was probably the biggest question about her coming out of college. So I'm glad to see that she's making the effort to improve, and it's showing up on the floor. She's out there scrapping, looking like another Gary Payton out there. And then you've got Connecticut Sun and the Washington Mystics. You know, right now Connecticut 15-6. They've got the #1 spot. Mystics only half a game behind them at 14-6. And Sun on a 6-game winning streak, Mystics on a 5-game winning streak. I want to check the schedule, see when they play each other next. Because the Sun, they've got a huge advantage over every team in the league. They are 11-1 at home. They're 4-5 on the road. So if they hold on to that #1 seed, it's gonna be that's gonna be dangerous. So good news is they have to win at least a few home games, at least a few road games probably, in order to guarantee they can clinch home field. So there is some hope for the rest of the league. But yeah, I really don't know. With Connecticut, I've been high on them for like 3 years. The talent is obviously there. Great coaching. They've had a few ups and downs. You know, they had that dip earlier this season, but they seem to be back on track. And I don't know enough about basketball to tell you what went wrong when it does go wrong, other than maybe people have slumps. It happens. But yeah, but I think, yeah, it's been a fun season to watch. Like I said, I haven't had the free time to actively go out of my way to watch every single game, do statistical analysis and all that other shit that goes into covering this as well as I do. Especially since I make no money from it and I barely get any views on half of those videos anyways. And all the hours that I spend researching, recording, and editing just don't feel like they're worth it right now. And all of those hours that I would spend doing that stuff, I'm instead doing I've been writing a book for the past 2 fucking years. I'm kind of glad it's over. It's also kind of scary putting it out there in the world, because this is it's my life on paper, and once it's out there, it's like I'm not going to be able to take it back. But I mean, it's also exciting. So it's a first. Hopefully, it's just the first of many, many steps towards achieving the overall goal of whatever. What is my overall goal? Oh yeah, I mean, I don't want to say fame, but that is part of it. I do want my name out there because the more recognition I have, the easier it'll be to get more jobs. It's a weird thing, but in so many different industries, especially in the entertainment industry, when it comes to books and movies, like it's a lot easier to get something done when you've already done other stuff, and people can just look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, you've done that." So it's like we know that he can be successful with something. So yeah, this is the foot, and this is hopefully this book is the foot in the door that just starts an avalanche. But yeah, we can only hope. We'll see. It's the first step. That's the most important thing. It's the first step towards a goal. Anyways, that's it for this. I mean, tell me who you think's gonna win it all this season. Because right now, I'm thinking Mystics. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a lot of depth. Great coaching. They've had years to build the chemistry. Like I think right now they're the favorites, though. Connecticut, by the way they're playing right now, Connecticut looks like they got a good shot. And Vegas at full strength might be the scariest team in the league because they've got size, athleticism, and depth as well. So, but at this point in time, honestly, it's anybody's game. That being said, ever since the playoffs switched to this new format, almost every single time, whoever ends up with that #1 seed, they usually end up making it to the finals. So, keep a close eye on that race for first. Because it looks like it's, at least for now, it's down to 3. We'll see if one of them falls out and someone else makes a run for it. But it's looking like it's those 3, Vegas, Washington, and Connecticut, probably do have the best shot of getting to the finals this year. Which, they're all Eastern Conference teams. Normally, it's all West. The first 2 years we did this, it was 2 Western Conference teams that end up facing off. So this will be fun. Anyways, that's it for the fan perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle, and there's a possibility he won't see me again till September. I can't make any promises at this point. But, yeah, thanks for staying subscribed. Thanks for watching this video. Click like, leave comments, and, stay posted because, once again, I think the next video I put up probably will be, hey, my book's out, go buy it.